Here I come, ready or not, better make way, 'cause I'm coming in hot like a wildfire.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a get ready with me video so you can see my day-to-day makeup routine, and I picked up some goodies yesterday at Ulta, so I'm going to show you what I got. So I went into Ulta hoping that maybe they'd have some like Black Friday sales, but did I get anything that was on sale? No. And one of the girls there recommended to me the Anti-Wrinkle Miracle Worker Eye Cream. Sorry, I'm in the middle of painting, so I've got paint all over my hands. This is what I'm painting here. Behind me is this like cupboard area and like basically this whole room. So it's kind of a disaster and I do apologize. And then I also signed up for the Ulta credit card because I wanted the 20% off. And because I signed up for the credit card, I was gifted a Kylie palette. And it's actually really nice. It's got a bunch of different kind of warmer colors and browns, neutrals, things like that. So I think I'll definitely be able to make use of that. So that was actually a really nice gift. Sometimes the gifts that come, you know, free with things aren't really all that great, but that one was actually well worth it. And then also while I was there, I picked up my brow powder. So I get the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow powder duo. I don't use the pomade. I know a lot of people use the pomade, but I find that it's a bit too thick, or like, I don't know, I like a more natural brow. So I go for the powder and I just very lightly add it to my eyebrows. I don't know if you can see here, but it comes with two different colors there. There we go. And one's kind of like an ashy gray color, the other's kind of like a darker charcoal color. And I do use both. I usually tend to use the lighter color towards the inner part of my eyebrow and the darker color towards the outer part of my eyebrow. But I was definitely running low on that, so I picked some of that up. This was kind of just like a impulse purchase. It's the Wet n Wild bronzer. I was running low on bronzer, so I figured I'd pick some of that up. And then also I got a new beauty blender, nothing special. This is one of the cheaper ones that I could find. And then also I picked up this, it's a CC cream by It. It's got 50 plus SPF. It says it's full coverage, so we will find out. But I got it in the color Fair Light. And it's an anti-aging, or it has anti-aging hydrating serum in it. So I've been buying a lot of foundations and things like that just to kind of try them out and find out, you know, I've been trying to find the one. So hopefully this is it. So we're gonna give that a try as well. I also picked up just a cheap little blush brush because mine's really beat up. So anyways, let's get started. So I already primed my face with the Drops of Youth cream by The Body Shop. This is my go-to moisturizer. I love it because it's got like just a really nice smell to it, and it's kind of got like the texture of like yogurt, like whipped yogurt almost. So it's really like light and airy on your face. It's not like super oily or heavy. So I really like that one. I don't really use an actual primer. I haven't found one that I liked. And I find that like the makeup just kind of like falls off my face if I use primer, which is kind of defeats the purpose of primer. I feel like primer is supposed to help the makeup adhere to your face, and I don't really get that effect from it. But yeah, so I started using the line correcting eye cream today as well. So I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. It's actually pretty tiny, considering the price. This little thing right here is $60, so hopefully it works. I don't normally spend that much on you know, skincare and things like that, but you know, sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and see if it works. So we're gonna start off with this CC cream and find out if it's the real deal or not. All right, so let's start off with this CC cream here. I'll add a little bit to my beauty blender. I also don't use concealer. I always see these beauty gurus using concealer, And I don't really have like dark circles or anything like that under my eyes. Not really to the point where I feel like I need concealer. Oh, I really like this. It's going on nice and smooth. It has an interesting smell. I can't quite pinpoint what it is. It smells like food. What is that smell? But yeah, it's going on very smooth, and actually the color match is like spot on. I'm actually really impressed. I got the Fair Light. I'm pretty sure that's the lightest one. I was gonna go with the second lightest one, but it looked a little orangey for me, and things tend to look orange on my skin because I have much cooler tones, like green tones in my skin. So I went with the lightest one instead, against the recommendation of the Ulta Associate. But I think I made the right choice. You know your own skin, you know what I mean? Like, you just, especially if you work with makeup every day. Now, I'm not a big makeup person. I tend to only buy my staples, and I only use my staples. I'm not really one to spend a lot of money on makeup, you know, palettes and things like that I'll only use from time to time. Wow, I'm really loving this. We may have found the one. She may be the one. I just love that it goes on really smooth and it's not cakey. And you know, I was a little bit apprehensive or a little bit doubtful about the full coverage claim on here, but I'd say that's medium to full. That's pretty damn good coverage, if I do say so myself. And now you can always, you know, layer it on. So I layer it on my chin a little bit here and just around the corners of my nose. But I'd say that this foundation, or this CC cream, is definitely worth the money. And I don't think it was like too expensive. I feel like it was along the lines of most foundations, like 40 bucks. Yeah, I think it was 40 bucks. So it was along the lines of most makeup store foundations. And I'm truly impressed right now. I tend to be cheap, and I tend to buy drugstore makeup as much as possible, but something in me, something called to me and was like, go into Ulta. So I did, and frankly, I'm glad that I did. So now we're going to do eyebrows. I always start with eyebrows, and my eyebrows are a little sparse right now. I did kind of overpluck them a little bit. I tend to overpluck them so that I can kind of shape them in the way that I like to shape them, because I find that when they're a little bit thicker, they're a little bit harder to shape because you have to follow what's there. So I go in with my Anastasia Brow Powder Duo, and I'm going for the lighter kind of ashy color, and I'm just lining the bottom of my eyebrow. And I don't know about you, but I always start with one, like the same eyebrow every time. And I kind of just brush it through a little bit. And then once you've kind of lined the bottom, I kind of line the top, but not so much towards the inner corner, just mostly on the top by the arch. And I get asked a lot like how I do my eyebrows, so I'm hoping that this video kind of helps you see just how I do my eyebrows. And I really do fill in that outer edge of my eyebrow quite a bit more. So there you have it. She turned out pretty good today, actually. So once you've filled in your eyebrows, now you can go in with some concealer. So I just use like an angled brush, And I just use this really cheap CoverGirl, I'm pretty sure it's CoverGirl, concealer, and I just dip it into the concealer. And then what you want to do is you just line the bottom of your eyebrow and even the top if you wish. Some people like the more bushy brow, in which case I wouldn't recommend doing the top, lining the top, but if you want like more clean lines, this is the way to do it. This really cleans up the eyebrow and just makes it look picture perfect. And you really want to take your time here for that precision. And you just want to make sure that you like blend everything out, and you can use your beauty blender here too. But I tend to use my finger most of the time. I find that works the best. So I'm going to actually do the top of my eyebrow. I'm going to stay away from the inner corner to kind of keep the feathered look. Ooh, but she looks good, girl. So I don't know if you can see the difference here. This one's lined with concealer. This one's not. So you can just see how much cleaner this one looks in comparison to this one. And there. So, you know, it takes some practice. They're not always going to match perfectly. Some people use like liquid concealer. I just use like stick concealer. But yeah, there's a couple different ways you can do it. But that is how I do my eyebrows. So it's really, really simple. It doesn't take much time at all. But it just really cleans up your face and makes it look a lot neater. So next, we're gonna go for, I'm not a big eyeshadow girl. Most of the time, day to day, I don't use any eyeshadow. So I usually just do eyeliner and mascara. So I'm gonna start with eyeliner. But first, I'm gonna curl my eyelashes so that when we go in with the mascara, I don't have to curl the eyelashes after applying the eyeliner. And so the eyeliner that I'm currently using, I actually get on Amazon. It was gifted to me a couple Christmases ago, and I actually really like it a lot. It lasts a long time. It's called Unshakable High Pigment Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. I don't know how much I would agree with the claim that it's waterproof, because if I like have allergies and my eyes start watering or whatever, it definitely comes off. But as far as liquid eyeliners go, for the price, you really can't beat it. And now this is something that really takes some practice. You know, being that I do it every single day, I've kind of got the hang of it. But there are days where it just looks like absolute trash. It's really easy to overdo it with liquid eyeliner. So now we go in with some mascara, and my biggest tip to you is if you have an older mascara with like a silicone brush, wash off that brush and just use that to kind of comb the lashes first. This one's an older mascara. It has very little mascara left in the bottle. But what it does is it kind of just primes the lashes before I go in there with fresh mascara. And the mascara that I use is by Maybelline, which seems to be kind of like the trusted drugstore mascara brand. But this one's called the Rocket Volume Express. Comes in a little blue applicator like this. And it's kind of my go-to mascara for quite some time now, actually. But I've always bought Maybelline mascara. I prefer the silicone brushes myself. I just find that they're less clumpy. They collect less mascara, which just makes for neater lashes. So now I'm going in there with the Fresh mascara, which really adds a lot of volume. I mean, that is why they call it the Rocket Volume Express. And if you find that you put a little bit too much or it gets a little bit too thick, you can always just go in there with like a clean spoolie and just brush it out a little bit. So once I'm done my mascara, usually my next step is to go in with some blush. So let's go with my go-to blush. I know this is probably pretty basic. I feel like this is kind of like the most basic blush, but the NARS Orgasm blush is really great. I like the kind of soft pink color. I don't really tend to like the more warmer blushes. This one's just a great blush, and I learned a new trick the other day watching a YouTube video. I typically don't watch makeup vloggers or anything like that, but instead of putting it on like the apple of your cheek, you want to kind of brush it down from your cheekbones. And what this does is it kind of creates more of a cheekbone effect. Putting the blush directly on the apples of your cheeks kind of gives you more of a youthful, rounded look to your cheeks, whereas this kind of contours your face a little bit more. And I used to use like a powder, like a setting powder. I used to use like the Fit Me powder by Maybelline over my liquid foundation. But this one actually, this CC cream actually seems to set well on its own. It doesn't really look like it needs a whole bunch of powder. And also as I age and I start to get more like fine lines and things like that, the powder seems to really accentuate that. So I'm kind of doing away with setting powders of any kind. And now I'm not thrilled with how this blush blended, so I'm actually going to go in there with a different blush. This one's a bit more pigmented. This comes in a little like a little palette by Tarte. It's called the Hamptons Weekender. It's great, like summery, beachy pigments, but you really gotta blow it off or else you're just gonna make a mess. Ooh, there we go. There's some fresh blush color. And then I just gotta make sure I blend it in real good. I have a habit of like when I'm in a rush, I don't blend well enough, and you can tell. So now we're gonna try out this new bronzer that I got. This is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer, Palm Beach Ready. And I'm just gonna go in there with like an angled brush. Ooh, I'm excited for this one. Nice and shimmery. And then I kind of just like follow the blush, and then I go up into my temples. And I just want to say really quick that I'm by no means a beauty guru. I'm not a makeup artist. This is just my daily routine. Things that I've learned over the years from watching videos or just trial and error. Perfect. Now this one's not too dark. Also, what it tends to do is when you go over with the bronzer, it kind of helps blend out the blush a little bit better as well. And then also part of this Hamptons Weekender palette set is the highlighter. As you can see, I use quite a bit of it. And I actually just use my finger for this. I have used like the fan brush to apply this before, and it doesn't really work as well as I would have hoped. So I actually just apply it with my finger like this and just blend it in. And then apply it to the tip of my nose. I actually contoured my nose for the first time the other day, and I have to say I love it, but I don't really love the time that it takes to contour your nose. So that'll be like if I'm going out like to a wedding or something like that, then maybe I'll contour my nose, but like on a day-to-day basis, that's just a little much. I love adding highlighter to the Cupid's bow. And like, I don't know if you're supposed to add it to your forehead. I find that it really accentuates like, you know, aged skin, you know, like it just makes my skin look more aged. So we're just not going to do that. Also, as far as highlighter goes, if you haven't tried this before, sorry, but this is really dirty. This is the Becca Ignite highlighter. It's a cream highlighter, or a liquid. Sorry, it's a liquid highlighter. And it is absolutely freaking phenomenal. A very little goes a long way. So this will probably last me a small eternity, but it's amazing. You could probably even blend it into your foundation to just kind of give you more of like a luminescent look. But I really recommend picking this one up. And then what you want to do is, to complete the look, you always got to add a little bit of lipstick. Lately I've been using the Smashbox, what is it? Be Legendary lipstick in, oh, what's the name? Stylist Matte? Is that the actual name? I suppose it is. And I'm not really one for lip liner either. That may be a faux pas, but oh well. Who needs it? All right. Again, I kind of just like stick to my staples and I don't really veer away from them. Although I do kind of overline my lips with the lipstick, just to give them a more like fuller look. And there you have it. That's my day-to-day makeup look. I'll bring you into more natural light so you can kind of see what it looks like. So here we are in more natural light, so you can kind of see it in better lighting there. But that's it. That is my everyday makeup look. So that is my everyday makeup look using a lot of my makeup staples as well as some new products that I picked up the other day. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new, please subscribe. I'll link some of the products down in the description below so that if you're looking for them, you can find them. Thanks for watching. Bye.